Yo, what's up, everyone? This is Fan Opinions here, back at it again with another video. And first things first, I want to apologize for the 2 month hiatus. Haven't been feeling great. Didn't know what to make of this goddamn channel, but it's apparently doing fairly well. I mean, basically 100 views per video, and I really even tried to do that. You know what I mean? So, other than the hype around the time mark, which was disappointment to say the least. But I mean, sure. I mean, we can talk about that in another video. But today's video is something I really wanted to talk about because even though I did see Anime Balls Steve talk about this, so shout out to him. I do want to actually make the, and I don't remember. I don't think I did watch the video, but if some of our points are essentially the same, then kudos to him. But the point here is the Overhaul is not a villain, perhaps an antagonist. And if you guys are probably like, oh man, what's the difference? Well, the difference is that, let me just look up the definition and tell you what the difference is. So, an antagonist is defined as a person who actively opposes or is hostile to someone or something, an adversary. Now, if I go look up the definition of a villain, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be something different. A character whose evil actions or motives are important to the plot. Okay, so evil actions, right? Now, I want to make a huge emphasis on that. Now, without a doubt, Overhaul was an adversary to the heroes. You know? And I'm not gonna undermine the fact that he is an asshole. Like the way he treated that girl and basically all his allies, man, he just kind of just destroyed them just for his own selfish needs. Now, what doesn't make him a villain, and I mean not even a good guy at that, because that's a stretch, is this idea. I mean, his whole approach was based on this need to want to create a world where no one is looked down upon due to the fact that somehow they don't have one of those cool quirks that everyone else has or that some people have. Because I'm not quite sure whether, I'm pretty sure that it's only a small minority that has really useful quirks, and then the rest of them are just kind of like whatever. You know, like I can't really think of anything from the top of my head, but some of those quirks, even from the ones that they actually decide to focus on, like the dude that got tape on his elbows, or the Beast Boy with the tail and the extra arms, like that's cool, but that ain't as cool as throwing fire or ice through your hands or your sweat combusting into some sort of explosion, right? And so the thing is that this is my argument for saying that Overhaul is definitely not a villain. It could be an antagonist. However, he's not necessarily a bad guy due to the fact that the only reason he's so obsessed with this little girl is due to the fact that she can rewind people. Now, I guess there was a point in time where something happened to humanity where basically everyone got some sort of quirk. Now, if that is the case, then that means that time passed, which means that this girl can potentially just go back and change all that and reset humanity to being quirkless, and I guess somewhat recreating the peaceful world which he probably doesn't know anything about. So let's just say that for that reason alone, I mean, other than the fact that, the way his kind of arc ended with, the villains kind of taking his hands and stuff, like shit. But let's not take pity on the guy because he's definitely an asshole. He's a total jackass, and so the idea was under some sort of, at least righteous necessity to want to, I guess, help himself and be of have some sort of purpose, and thus decide to have a goal that has to do with something other than just himself. Of course, there's some sense of grandeur that he's obviously boasting about when he says that he can do this and that he needs to do this. But let's not undermine the fact that he's doing it to essentially help the helpless, which is, I think, isn't that what Batman is all about, or Superman? And so I guess you could kind of twist that to an extent of the person's character and personality. And so this dude is obviously not necessarily a nice or a kind person. I mean, it's not like Batman is very. I guess he's not nice, but he's somewhat kind because he doesn't go around harming others in this regard to what they might have done or not, you know? However, Overhaul is a little bit on the F, you know, F you. Too bad. Kind of just contradicted himself about the fact of that he wants to be there for those that can't help themselves, because he's harming a lot of people with putting the drugs that he is on the streets. But the goal, the end, means, I guess, makes all of those ridiculous hypocrisies, double standards seem like an irrelevant hard pile of nonsense. You know, so my point being that yes, without a doubt, he's definitely not a good guy, but he's definitely not a villain. Due to the fact that he's not just doing things to be a total social and psychopath like the other guy. I can't remember his name. Face Palm Boy, I'm gonna call him that. He's definitely a villain. Like, this dude is just he got issues, man. He got issues, and maybe his troubles are based on reasonable life circumstances. However, it doesn't always necessarily translate into, yeah, dude, it's okay for you to just hurt everyone, and then fantastic, because you know it's just something that makes sense because of what you went through. So it's like 100. Do you think? No, no. I mean, no, no, no. Don't do that. If you're hurting, I suggest you get a hug. Um, yeah, get a hug, man. Like, don't go hurting others. Write it down. Talk to a therapist or something. But definitely don't go around hurting people. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference. I mean, I want to say that's the difference between Overhaul and Facepalm Boy, and that's the Overhaul's need to accomplish this particular goal in this regard to what might happen on his way there is based on the fact that he wants to just help everyone that can't help themselves. However, when it comes down to Facepalm Boy, everything he's doing is for his own selfish needs. I'm not quite sure what he really needs to prove. They really haven't gone into his vast backstory, so I'm not quite sure what really happened to him to talk about what might be driving the guy. But I could tell you that regardless of what it might be, he is definitely the villain, and everything he's doing is just a pure plot of evilness. Like, he's just sipping on the hittery, and that's all there's to it. However, there's a legitimate excuse on Overhaul behalf to be who he is due to the fact that he has stumbled upon this particular girl who's able to rewind time essentially on the human genome, which is essentially what he wants to do, in order to return them to be what he would consider a peaceful society, which I'm certain that he doesn't know anything about. So whether it is all redundant or not, the fact is that one is a total lunatic and the other one is just a jackass and going about doing things in the wrong way. Because trust me, if he would have probably approached the Hero Academy with this bright idea, they probably could have implemented it in a way where it's a choice. Look, you might have an awful quirk that ruins your life. Take this vaccine and it's gone. Why not? But he had to be the type of dude that just decides to do things on his own because why not? And so maybe he's misguided, somewhat stupid. However, I do want to say that his heart was somewhat in the right place, but his head is obviously so far up where the sun don't shine that he can't clearly see that there's better ways to go about doing what he wants to do. So this is my reason why Overhaul is definitely not a villain. However, he's an antagonist. And like I said, an antagonist is just an adversary. Somebody who decides to just say, I'm gonna do things my way, and if you don't like it, then hey, you can get it, bruh, on site. Now, the other lunatic, he's like, no, you're gonna get it no matter what, because yeah, that's why. There's really not a legitimate reason because there's not a real. I mean, don't get me like I said, I'm not quite sure what drives the guy. I'm not familiar with his backstory, but I can tell you that regardless of what might have happened to him in the past, it doesn't make it okay for him to go and want to just hurt other people. It just doesn't. And so, yeah, Overhaul is not a bad guy. He's definitely not a good guy, but he's not a lunatic. And he just went about doing things in an awful manner. And he could have just done think better. And I think that that's something we could all take home and ask ourselves: is there a better way to go about doing this thing? Because most likely than not, there always is, as long as you think about it. And this is the importance of patience. It takes time to gather all the data necessary to verify that you're making the right choice. And so he didn't. That's why he ended up not doing not doing the right things, because obviously he didn't succeed on whatever he wanted to accomplish. And so I say to you, learn from the guy, verify that there whether there is a better way to go about doing whatever it is you want to do, and take the time necessary to ensure that all of those steps are verifiable. Like you have verified that it's true and it's based on facts. And so I would say be patient, and he should have had more patience. I think that's why was it his dad or the guy that took him in, the Yakuza boy, was telling him he probably should have learned from him. But hey, it is what it is. This is my 2 cents on Overhaul. Let me know if you have a different take on the guy down below. And if you guys actually find this entertaining and you guys like this whole dialogue, philosophical, entertaining of ideas and how they can apply into our life, and how do they add meaning and value into what it is that we actually go through in our own personal life, that don't forget to give the video a like, man. And this is already 15 minutes, man. So I'll be on my way now. Thank you so much for sticking with me and watching this. I know that the video quality isn't 100,000%, but I'm working on that. I promise you, I am working on that. But for now, I'm just gonna keep pumping out content, keep recording audio, keep getting these ideas across, and keep helping you guys apply some of this juicy knowledge from this anime world. So you're welcome. Like the video if you enjoy this, and find any of this valuable, funny, thought intriguing, thought provoking. I think that's the word that I was looking for. Kind of just some of my cylinders didn't fire off there, but yeah, I mean, I'm at 8 subscribers, which is not bad. I mean, honestly, I just did 2 videos and got 8 subscribers, so but I can use all the support I can get. So if you're willing to just do something for free to help your boy out, and y'all already know what it is. But this is fan opinions right here, signing out, man. Thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me. Like I said, share your opinions about my thoughts of this whole situation are. Overhaul is definitely not a good guy, but he's definitely not a bad guy. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. This is fan opinions signing out. Peace.